Hello and welcome to today's episode of the podcast. And yeah, today got a very special guest, and that special guest is Hansa, Raja and
Nara.
And yeah, today, we're going to talk about Hansa and the amazing work that she's doing at Holding Space and the new chapter that she's growing into. And I've just run a storytelling workshop at Holding Space, so we're going to just share a bit about that and just to show you guys what we just got up to. And to begin with, I want to bring in Hansa and just to be like, Hansa, you'd like to say a few words?
So thank you so much for today. I mean, the workshop was, I really loved it. So the workshop was about, particularly, so the work I do is about parents and carers. And as parents and carers, we do not take time out for ourselves, and that's self-care. So the workshop was, if you had a day to yourself, what would it look like? And I found it really interesting and reflective, and you can do this. It's okay to take that time out for yourself as a parent or carer, and it's so important. Thank you for today's workshop.
Yeah, thank you, Hansa. Because that's something I do in my work is helping people to get clear on themselves, but creating that space for themselves in order to really feel into where they're going, and this inside, and then bringing that insight into the outside. And it just really links into how we met. So we initially met in November at the 𝗛ጽ 𝗪𝗲 Southern Summit. And we met at the end of the talk that I gave there, and it was amazing because you just got back from taking time out for you, and you've just been to India, and that's how we initially met, because I shared about my origins, and that's my story and how it links to you into India and being from there as well. I'd love to just you to talk more about Holding Space and the charity that you founded.
Yeah, certainly. So Holding Space has been going for 5 years now. I've been on a journey with my daughter, who sadly struggled with her mental health, but getting any support is really difficult at the moment. But for a parent or carer to get support, there's just nothing out there, and parenting, there's no Bible for parenting, there's no rule book or anything. So Holding Space is very much just offering that safe space for parents and carers to come together if their children are struggling, that just being non-judgmental, knowing that we haven't got it wrong as parents, and offering that peer-to-peer support. So all the team have lived experience. They are on a journey or have been on a journey with their children, so they've got that lived experience. And I think there's so much power in that peer-to-peer rather than professional. Professionals obviously have a role to play on this journey, but that peer-to-peer support and walking alongside somebody on that journey, not necessarily fixing it or having all the answers. That's where the power of Holding Space comes in.
Yeah, wow. Because and to touch on that as well, because the vision that you have for Holding Space from the beginning to just what you just shared there of actually actualizing that and how you've actually done that in the world. What was that kernel at the very beginning 5 years ago where you made the flip into then growing and starting the charity?
Oh my gosh, good question. There wasn't one really, to be honest. So Holding Space started as a Facebook page because I was looking for some support for me, and I kind of just wanted to find one other parent that perhaps could say, oh my God, yeah, I'm going through that as well. And set up a Facebook page, and the whole thing just took off I had no plan. I wasn't planning on running a charity, but obviously the demand was out there. The parents started to reply and post and sort of, I can relate to this, I'm going through this, and the whole thing just grew organically. It just was never in my kind of timeline, but we needed sadly too many young children, young people are struggling, and there's not enough parent support out there. So we are the only charity along East Sussex that are offering this kind of support. So it's very organic. Maybe the universe was leading me to be doing this.
Yeah, because that's the whole thing of like saying it, but you actually done it, and me actually discovering holding space like 5 years long in that journey to today and doing the workshop today, and the people that were part of the workshop, the way doing that workshop was a massive honour to do it, and also just experiencing holding space as the world that you've created in the way that you make people feel relaxed and calm, and it's way more than just it's way more than just being a space for parents. You do a lot more than that, what are some of those things you do that you've actually then actualized in that journey?
I think for me, or for the ethos of holding space, is giving people that space to be heard, to be seen, and to be listened to. And I think whoever you are in life, that's what we all need, don't we? And I hope that's what we've created here at Holding Space, is for parents and carers just to be heard and feel safe, and know that they are seen, kind of thing. So we run our coffee mornings as we've done this morning. We bring in outside speakers, we offer that safe space, and it's a lovely space that we've created. It's that energy that we've created, really. We run workshops. So for me, it's about empowering people with any illness, whether that's mental, physical. The more knowledge you have about that, the better equipped you are to deal with it or to care for that person. Around mental health, you don't tend to get that information, you don't tend to get that support. So our workshops are very much about empowering parents with the tools, the knowledge, the skills that they need to then support their child.
Wow.
That's what we do.
Incredible. And it's awesome because from starting 5 years ago to what you just shared there, all that's happened, and you're now about to launch yourself into the new chapter, right?
Yes. Exciting chapter. Yeah. So when I was going through my journey, I'm a single parent. I had to work. I had no choice. But my daughter was often in crisis, and I'd have to leave the workplace. I had no choice. She needed me. I had to leave. But as a single parent, I couldn't afford to lose my job. And we hear of so many parents that have had to give up their jobs because, your child's always going to come first, or whoever you're caring for is always going to come first. So I'm very passionate about supporting parents and carers in the workplace. So hence I've launched my own consultancy business and want to really change that workplace culture. So mental health first aid is really important, and having that knowledge, but let's really look at our employees as people. What do they bring to the workforce in terms of their personal lives? But let's make sure we're not losing our skilled staff as well. And how can we better support parents and carers in the workplace? So that's my new venture, and taking that next step, really, I think, from the charity into the corporate world.
Wow. Yeah, it's incredible because you've just in that 5 year period, you've had the courage to start a charity. From nothing, just an idea, travelled with that for 5 years, and now you're kind of flipping it and going into the next birth of it, and kind of making it go further, and the way that you're kind of spreading it in with more of a business lens. I guess what's your vision for the future?
Wow, that's a really interesting question. Oh gosh, I would love to see hubs very similar to what we've created around the country. So there's that open door where parents can get support, come in and just have that space to come in and chat and have lots of little hubs around the country. I'd love to see businesses being more, I suppose, more supportive. It's not just about flexible working hours, but so we've got this culture where we we've got this wrapper around support parents and carers. Obviously, my ultimate vision is that there's more investment into children and young people's mental health, and they've got that support that they need. You know, we don't want to see people struggling. Mental health, as you know, it's a massive, massive issue. We've got to look after the next generation. But in terms of parent care and peer support, I just love to see that being part of services, and that conversation around parent support being normalised and, you know, being available.
And I want to kind of bring in something of myself here, because I think, like being a son myself, and like I've got a really close relationship with my mum, and like just the way that she like works, and as I get older, I have way more appreciation for what my mum went through in order to give me the life that I've been able to have. And like looking at her life as an adult, it's and actually being like, there is things that in the workplace they're almost like oversee certain things, and I think the work that you're doing is really important, because you're really kind of like raising awareness in a space where it's not just about numbers and not just about money. You're actually really honing in on the person and and championing the person.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was something that's really drawn me to you in the first place, because like a lot of my values and beliefs are around about putting the person first, not the product or the service.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's where we really connect, and I think like the way that you're advocating for the person, bringing that into the workplace, I think it's like a game changer and needs to happen, which is why I wanted to bring you on the podcast today, because like the work that you're doing, again, like really kind of like plays in with what I advocate for, is going beneath the skin.
Yeah. 100%, isn't it? And it's not all about profits, it's all about numbers and ticking boxes, you know, and I think we've got, the more you look after your workforce and you look after, the people around you, it has to increase your productivity, your bottom line, less absenteeism, less sickness, but creating the culture, that's what we've got to change, is having the culture where people feel comfortable, where people can know that they are heard again, listened to, that and they're not scared of losing their jobs either. So when you've got all these caring responsibilities, often it's like you're trying to juggle it all. I've got to keep my job, but I can't let them know what's happening, because they might give me less hours. So it is that whole workplace culture. Let's treat people as they should be, rather than numbers, which I'm sure many organisations do that. But I know there's a lot that wellbeing still has to be embedded in organisations, and I'm really passionate about that parent carer support and supporting organisations to embed it within their working practices.
Nice. So then coming into that, embedding into the workforce, so what are ways that people can start working with you? And if someone's listening to, a business owner is listening to this and they're thinking I would love to to give, just to raise awareness of that side of the business, how would someone start to work with you?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, get in touch through LinkedIn. So all my details are on LinkedIn, and we can schedule and have a chat and start to understand what's happening within their workforce. I mean, the support I offer is very bite-sized, so a 1-hour workshop, so you don't have to take your whole workforce out for a day, and it's working with that organisation. So you can email me, they can call me, connect with me on LinkedIn, and let's start to have those conversations and see how I can support employees and HR managers, to have that, embed that in their workforce and keep their best people.
Yeah, amazing. Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, and
it's been so lovely to connect with you. It was really good.
And I guess the last thing to say is unpeel those layers, squeeze out that juice, and keep being
you.
You are.
Yeah, thank you. Great to meet.
Awesome.
Thank you for listening.